major employers came to the West Side. There was General Motors, which was the biggest. At one time, there were over 6,000 good-paying jobs that the plant over on Georgesville Road. There was also the Westinghouse plant, and Westinghouse employed just over 3,000 people at its peak. And then finally, the third was International Harvester, and that employed over 1,000 people at its peak. So between the three of them, they provided 10,000 really good blue-collar type jobs for the West Side.
I know that's changed because
and that employed over 1,000 people at its peak. So between the three of them, they provided 10,000 really good blue-collar type jobs for the West Side.
I know that's changed because
Yes.
none of those plants is still here.
That's
I mean,
exactly
the buildings
right.
might be, but they aren't the same businesses.
Well,
I'm guessing they don't have the same level of employment.
And that's exactly right. And that's made it very, very difficult economically for a good portion of the West Side of Columbus. The GM plant was completely leveled, and they completely redid the grounds there, and obviously that's a brand new building. And that's provided about 1,000 jobs out here, but that's not the same as 6,000.
Well, do you find people moving in because they see it as a desirable neighborhood, even if they work elsewhere? People are pretty mobile these days.
Well, this is true. And the one really good thing about the West Side of Columbus and the Hilltop area is that it's affordable by most people. Number two is it's accessible. It's close to everything. I mean, we're literally less than a 10-minute.
And they're calling this a restructuring of the company. Wendy's won't say exactly how many workers will be laid off, but we do know it won't be restaurant workers, but
the local drug treatment center that's the focus of an investigation involving the FBI, the IRS, and DEA is laying off nearly all of its employees. That bombshell came without warning today for many Breaking Point Recovery Center's employees.
Just 3 weeks before Christmas, layoff notices tonight for some workers at the Limited Stores corporate headquarters. Good evening. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm
A company that manufactures lenses for vision improvement is laying off 38 people at its facility in Lockbourne. VS Optical Group on Roar Road will shed 38 employees. 31 optical technicians will go on October 21st as the company consolidates. VS Optical said in an email statement they're offering relocation opportunities or severance pay, career transition, outplacement support, and healthcare stipends. I'm Local for You in Lockbourne, Sin Razi on NBC4i.com.
The funny part is I was part of that layoff. It's not very funny. I got hired in a week right before they did this 38 layoff. I was part of that 38 layoff.
Four's Courtney Yoon joins us live in the studio with news that hundreds of jobs are being cut here. Courtney?
Health today announcing that it plans to lay off more than 600 employees. Officials with Ohio Health say the nonprofit Columbus-based healthcare system will eliminate 637 jobs in the hospital's information technology and revenue cycle management sectors over the next 3 to 5 months. That's more than 3 years since Intel first announced its major plans in Licking County. Construction is well underway on the massive computer chip plant, but the company is facing some big changes.
Bloomberg News reporting Intel plans to cut more than 20% of its workforce. NBC4's Eric Halperin has been looking into this for us. Eric, this would be the latest recent hurdle for the company, right?
Jared and Jen, the estimated completion date for the project in New Albany has been pushed back several times. Layoffs were also announced last summer. We should learn more about how the company's doing tomorrow when its latest earnings report comes out. Today, we talked with the governor as well as people in the area about this.
After the U.S. Department of Education announced it will let go more than 1,300 employees. NBC4's Anna Hoffman has more on what educators believe this could mean for the state departments.
It seems like jobs never stay in Columbus, Ohio. They come here for many years and then they lay off and disappear. It's ironic. You know, growing up, I always thought even if I didn't go to college, I could get a job. and work 20 years for a company and or so longer, you know what I mean, and retire. But here in Columbus, Ohio, most jobs don't even last 20 years. My first job, like real career style job out of high school, I worked for Walmart Optical Lab 9779. Let's see if I can bring that. It was a optical lab, like a warehouse that made glasses for their vision centers. We made eyeglasses, I want to say, damn near all the east side of Mississippi River, because there's other optical labs too that Walmart owns. That was my first job. I was there for 6 years. And in Walmart, if you're there 7, you're fully invested into the company. Not only I was there for 6 years, over 600 other people were when they decided to lay off. Thankfully, I wasn't there, but I heard there was sheriffs surrounding the building when they pulled up the day that they decided to shut the doors. Seems like jobs don't last. And if jobs do, it's all about who you know and who you blow. Especially in the optical career in Columbus, Ohio, for some reason. I got stories for days. Like I said, that was my first career. I was like 18, 19, somewhere around there when I first started for Walmart. It was like a cesspool. Oh my goodness gracious. Being a young kid, straight out of high school, and you're just watching and observing all these adults. I was on what they call a C shift, which is weekends during the day. So all these people forfeited their time during the day and on the weekends, and then during the week they had whatever they want to do. It was awesome, man. I literally damn near slept and was lazy Monday because I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Monday I slept and was lazy damn near all day. Tuesday ran around, did what the fuck I want. Wednesday, same thing. Every other Thursday was payday. So that was when I would go to the grocery store for the week and, for work. It was really nice. So I started seeing the BS behind it. And then I met this guy, Juan, for a different company, doing the same thing I was doing for Walmart Optical Lab. He recruited me. And then when I came over, he acted like he didn't know who the hell I was. Joke. Juan was this guy that did juvenile life in New York. Hard-headed, hard to get along with. How he got his own job, I have no idea. Oh, yeah, I do. He was a fast talker. Talk you out of your shoes if you'd let him. So after I left Walmart, I went to Nexus. It was short-lived. I thought, since my buddy Jeff, that I met through a mutual person, was there, everything would have been cool. No. Especially after I saved Jeff's ass in a bar fight one night. That's not the first time I encountered Jeff at work. It's not the second time either. Pretty sad. Even in the work world, similar to real life, nobody really has your back. They turn their nose when you need help the most. Like I said, it's hard in Columbus to get a job, let alone keep one without being laid off. Years down the line, I was a part of that VSP I just showed you guys. Left one job. They were hiring, went to there. A week later, they laid me off. How are you going to hire somebody and then a week later you lay them off? Especially when you pull all the people into the room and say the layoffs are between service and AR, but you got hired in for finish. Strange. So you get laid off, you get the severance pay, you get another job within that company umbrella. They didn't lay off because of COVID. Because that's why they originally laid me off. COVID, even though it was after the pandemic and everybody was getting released back to work. So I went to a different company. Like I said, it was an umbrellaed into the same company. This company was trying to get me to be their retail supervisor. I probably should have. I ended up going to a different company who everybody worked for VSP before they decided to do all this layovers. They left VSP to start this new company. Have you ever had a director and his team of leadership hire his romantic partner in as a managerial staff. That's what jobs are like here in Columbus, Ohio. This company also, when I did my taxes one year, I had to pay like I was a 1099 associate. Granted, this is a billion-dollar company from China who has another home office in California, also another office in Ohio. And I had to pay taxes for this company. When I asked the director straight up why I had to pay taxes for this company, he told me it was because Biden was in office. This is also the same director that railroaded me out of leadership position when I finally worked my way up to a leadership position. After he hired his romantic partner and as a manager when I was doing the manager's job to begin with. I never worked for this guy at all. At all. And he wants to disrespect me like this. Like, I worked with his best friend. He hired it, and his best friend as an engineer. I don't even think his best friend had an engineer degree. But since I worked with this guy at Walmart Lab 9779, and he worked hand in hand with my dad, I thought this guy was a friend, a confidant, somebody you can confide in, especially when you're feeling like the odd man out. Everybody else worked with each other before. It's funny. The lead I took over for worked for the production manager for years. So he was molded, taught, created. But when I get leadership position, I'm thrown to the wolves. They said a lady came in on the weekday to train me. This same lady was also dating the manager of the warehouse. Granted, this warehouse is 100,000 square feet. A lot of nooks and crannies. Just saying. This lady never really tried to train me. I even told her what was going to eventually happen. And it did happen. I'm not paranoid. I just can see through people's bullshit. I never worked with none of these people before. Besides the engineer that got hired in after I did. And I often wonder why I never got the engineer job. His best friend didn't have an engineer degree, neither does I. But I was doing all the legwork as the engineer. Fucking crazy. Matter of fact, when this engineer got hired in, they had this code secret job going through beast. I cut every single fucking lens. Well, not every single lens. I cut every single fucking test lens to fit for these beast jobs. No credit on my end. I never said nothing about that until now. Another thing I never said, I asked for this engineer for help when I became lead. Hey, man, I need some help, man. My supervisor, who I took his position, is being very rough on me. And the manager's not listening to me. The HR lady's not listening to me. Your best friend's the director. Can you help me? Don't worry about it. The director will make things right. I can't believe I fell for that one. Because I fell for the director hiring his romantic partner in for a manager. I fell for the production manager hiring his friend in as a supervisor at first, and then hiring his old lead in for the supervisor. Then his old supervisor in for the trainer. His old trainer at a different job. It was crazy. You couldn't work up the ladder in that position because they had so many positions ousted out already. It wasn't even funny. The director handpicked everybody to be a part of that association at first. The only reason why I got a job is because a lady I worked with at Walmart Lab 9779 got a job there. And instead of me becoming retail supervisor like I should have, but I had to forfeit Fridays and Saturdays with my daughter if I did. But I chose to go to this company working 410s Monday through Thursday. That way, when I got my daughter Thursday night and dropped her off at school at Friday morning, I have nothing to worry about. But when I got this job at this optical lab, it was $3 less on the hour. So I worked overtime when I didn't have my daughter. Busted my ass. I did over 100 hours every 2 weeks for the longest time with no recognition. I even did that when the director hired his romantic partner in as a manager. crazy. You can bust your ass. You can work really hard. You can have the best attitude in the world. But people will still shit on you because they knew so-and-so from around the block. Oh, Sally Joe used to tickle my nutsack, so let me give her a job. Oh, Billy Bob gives the best reach arounds there are. It's not about who you know, it's about who you blow here in Columbus, Ohio. These jobs don't stay. But these snakes that run these companies do. Columbus, Ohio is filled with blue-collared and white-collared individuals. It's a mixture. It's crazy. But none of us really get along with one another. We're in like two different worlds. It's crazy. The white-collar people even talk like they're above us blue-collar associates. We all get laid off eventually. So stay humble, motherfuckers. Columbus, Ohio is probably one of the worst places to live and thrive. And I'm just saying that because I'm 43. Barely have a fucking 401k, pension plan, whatever. Currently not working. Been a part of so many layoffs and fucked over on so much company BS. It's not even funny. These companies are more corrupt and criminal than my criminal background. This is Thomas with Lukewarm Mess. Hope you enjoyed. God bless. Till next time. Love y'all.